Hi, my name is Joe, and today we're going to be reacting to the New Year's banner. Oh boy, but the New Year's banner that was kind of just shadow dropped on Christmas, but also the same day that the Edelgard banner happened, and New Year's banners are almost always OCs, apparently. So, ooh, I actually like this artist, I'm not gonna lie. Green Tome, we don't need this though. Of any OC to get another alt, Heimdall is not on the list, dude. It's like Heimdall and Loki should be in Forbidden tier, and Allfather probably. They should be in Forbidden alt tier, because having more than one copy of this unit that is blessable is one of the most toxic things you can do, and I can imagine that this is going to be nightmare fuel specifically for SD, because everything I've heard about Heimdall and SD, it's just like the most slowing the game down, unfun shit, and now you have two teams of it, so. Hopefully the skill is not power corrupt though. Anyway, Green Tome Cav. Let's see. We have Slaying. We have Foresight Snare. Seems to be the same wording. Okay. And then for foes within 3x3, Inflict, Attack, Defense, Res -5. And what? Oh boy, we have some numbers. If foes attack can trigger their special, and if foes res at the start of battle is less than or equal to 39, Scowl. Interesting. Interesting. So if the foes res is less than or equal to 39, they get Scowled. That's such a weird stipulation. At this point, you should just friggin' just say 3x3 Scowl. I mean, I don't know why they did this, but it's powerful. You get some stats and Scowl on the first hit for just existing, which is really, really good. Scowl's still a good effect. And then as for her combat, she gets attack, defense, res +11. It's not +15 because she's getting the other 5 here. And actually, it's +16 because like we've been seeing on these new gen units, 15 is like the standard if you're getting all the stats, but if you're getting any less than all the stats, in this case attack, defense, res, and not speed, you get 16. So that seems to be constant. So this plus the 3x3, 16. 25 true damage, 25 flat DR, and then a special jump of 2. Cool, not bad. Scowl support, really good for just existing, and Foresight Snare is obviously stupid. Ice Wall, Aria, Open Book, the same story, right? Pretty much the same kit, right? But we're getting another new Cav C skill thing. At least these tend to be Cav skills. Attack, res, liberate. At start of player or enemy phase, grants attack, liberate, and res liberate to unit and allies closest to foe. Are these just going to be like bonus versions of Shackle? You know what I mean? Where they're just going to hand it out like candy. We'll see what it actually does though. And then you get attack, res +4 in combat. Whatever. So let's read what it actually does first. So liberate is grants bonus to stat equal to number of bonus effects active on unit, and then it's at 8. Okay. So it's basically like Shackle, right? I believe Shackle goes up to 8 as well, based on number of penalties. It's the same thing, okay? And then the skill for unit and allies on the map with Liberate deals damage during combat equal to number of bonus effects active on a unit +5, max 10. Ooh. Why didn't Shackle get this kind of support? I mean, Shackle B skill gives you like 15 true damage, I think, just for everything, but it doesn't give it to like allies attacking enemies that have Shackle inflicted on them, you know what I'm saying? So this isn't like a true one-to-one bonus versus penalty thing. This is just like the inverse of Shackle, but also better. So yeah, you get a decent chunk of stats and also up to 10 true damage for everybody. That's kind of good. However, not enough for me to pull on this. I'm praying that I don't want to pull on this, as usual. Oh, God. All right, look, I don't really care for these little stupid lolly characters with the snaggle tooth or whatever. I will say, though, the Balder plushie. I would want alts of this character just for the Balder plushie artwork. That shit's funny. But she is a Red Tome flyer. This unit, like, literally just came out, basically, with Heimdall. Like, these two just came out. So I'm not expecting anything super different, just like with Heimdall. But let's see. You get neutralize against flying. You get speed +3 and DC. I believe this is exactly what her normal weapon is. And then 3x3, attack speed +5, and DC, same thing. And this seems to be the same thing as the original as well, where you Miracle, heal 40, great talent +10, yeah. And then Omni +15, neutralize foes bonuses, 25 true damage basically after her thing goes off, 15 flat DR, full NFU. I believe that's just like completely identical, but I don't have base Volley's kit memorized, to be quite honest. There could be something in the weapon that she just doesn't have here or something, I don't know. Like a Felix to Tea Time Felix situation where the difference is like so minuscule in the B slot. But yeah, Invincible Sister, the same thing. Aria, new B skill. No, it's just Shackle still. And then Uplift, Imbue, Attack Speed, another new one. Okay. For unit and allies within 3x3, attack speed +5, reduce damage by 5. Ooh, and Deep Wounds Halving, and restores 40% of max HP as combat begins. Whoa, that's actually kind of good. In a 3x3 just for existing, true damage, Deep Wounds Halving, and Breath of Life healing, like Imbue, that's kind of cracked. What the hell? Not enough for me to summon, though. So far, this just seems like the most generic cash grab shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, these units just came out, dude. And obviously, we don't want them to just power creep them, because they just came out and they're mythics, and then the blessable one's just better. We don't really want that, but at the same time, you're still choosing to make alts of these brand new units and then give them the same exact skills, basically. Like, this shit is lame. I'm gonna be completely honest. This shit is lame. What is this? Sedger, whatever his name is? What is your name? Sedger. Well, this guy has a penis, so we can already assume he's going to be the demote, right? I'm painfully shocked, but it looks like he has Detect, yeah. Okay. So Detect is still really good, and Detect was kind of like the first one of these B skills where it's like you hand out an effect and everything on the map with that effect also like has some in combat shit. It was the first one, so it's not the craziest. Exposure is still good, but we still haven't gotten like a better version of Detect where it's exposure and then more true damage on top of it, for example, but it's still a good skill to pick up from a 4-star if you don't have it. Plop it on any support of your choice. Anyway, Horse Bow. So 3x3, Omni -5, 10 true damage, okay, and 50% DR shred, and then he deals 20 damage, which is really just 30 because because of this, and then Detect is another 10, so this guy's dealing 40 true damage, and then 10 flat DR. I mean, yeah, I would say this is actually a solid demote, no? Catch and reposition is whatever, but this bow is genuinely good. Detect is always good. If you just have some random bow unit that you've been wanting to upgrade just to like make him support, like even outside of support, like I said, 10 true damage, 20 true damage, another 10 from exposure, and that's just from this unit's kit on a demo. You could do so much worse. I just wish they would make it less obvious that the random male unit with a peener is the 4-star. And then the headliner, Hoder and Balder, which to be fair is a pretty based pairing. I like them both. I hope it isn't enough to make me summon though, because so far this is a big scup. Oh my god, and it's Hachan. Whoa. Who the fuck is surprised? Hachan or Kaboon. Always for these freaking duos. So they're a Lance Flyer. Let's see. So we got Slang, neutralize effective against flying, which is really good because Balder's in the front, and Balder tends to have a shitload of flat DR. Very good. For foes within 3x3, Omni -5. Additional Omni equal to current bonus on each of foes stats ×2. Okay. Always good. More stat, more better, I guess. And 50% DR Pierce. For just existing, not the craziest stuff in the world. At the end of the day, it's just numbers and then 50% DR piercing, which is handed out like candy anyway. So you could definitely do much better than this. And for the headliner duo unit, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, the demote bow is so cracked compared to this. It's just so weird. Anyway, as for her combat, Omni +10, she's getting the other 5 from the 3x3 thing, 25 true damage, and then reduced damage by X. We'll have to see what X is, and then special DR by X, and it's if they have weapon triangle disadvantage. You get 20, otherwise it's 50. Okay, I mean, that's a big number, and we're approaching units having 50 base speed. Like, some units have 49, I wouldn't be surprised if this one actually had 50, but after Dragon Flowers, this is gonna be 50 anyway, regardless, so half of that is 25. That number is usually around 15 for both, so having 10 extra on normal hit and special DR, this is gonna be one chonky duo, and then you get full tempo and weapon triangle style red. Cool. I guess this is just going to be Balder's thing from now on. Once again, I'm just tilted that the alternate versions of the characters get the cool thing and not the mythic version. But I'm sure when Baldur gets a refine in 50 years, she'll have a style, so whatever. Don't even have to read into that, it just makes her a red unit, which is cool. Arch Rival, always good. We have a bunch of new stuff. Shadow Shift, always good, solid. I really like the shift skills because it adds a unique layer of playmaking potential. Always happy to see it. Heavenly Soar, is this just going to be a different version of Air Superiority? Because it's pass, and for each foe within, and for each foe within 5 spaces of a unit, you can move to space any adjacent space. Okay, so how is this different from Air Superiority? I'll have to check. Attack speed, defense -4, tempo 20% of the greater of speed or defense, and same thing for the flat DR. I'm gonna have to pull up Air Superiority now that I actually have it on my account from the Edelgard summons. If you actually watch that, I got 3 Hinokas, kind of crazy stuff. But so Air Superiority is pass, the 5 warp, true damage, and then you get potent follow with Air Superiority. Okay, so Heavenly Soar is more generalist, where you get the pass and the warping, but you get like standard true damage and flat DR on top of tempo. So yeah, for a unit like Baldur, probably better than Air Superiority. But she would also really like potent because she's fast as fuck. So Air Superiority might still be the move. We'll see. Cool. I don't really like these pass skills existing though, because it breaks the game if the unit is too good, and now they're giving it out like candy. But it's 2026, I guess. And then we get Power Crept, a skill from Baldur. Heavenstead N. Okay. Canto distance +1 max 4. At start of turn inflicts Triangle Adept and exposure on closest and spreads within 2. Solid, of course. And the Baldur thing is the Triangle Adept style thingy. So 2 good statuses for that. Omni +9, 7 true damage, 7 flat DR, full NFU, and if exposure is active on unit, and if unit has weapon triangle advantage, or if foe initiates combat, you get Brave. Ooh. Yeah. Why is this called N? N is in near? Weird. Was Brave Baldur's called F? I don't know. Anyway, this is really good, obviously. You get Canto, you get some statuses that feed into what the unit actually wants to do. Stats, true damage, flat DR, NFU, and Brave, basically, all the time. So yeah, can't really ask for more. Let's see what the duo button is. I love her voice, by the way. I don't know what it is. I also just love Baldur. The vibe. No Coomer. Uh-oh. Simply change to red and body bagger. Yup. I like stuff like this because it adds playmaking potential. Even though on paper it's more boring than attack from 3 spaces away all the time or whatever. I don't know. It's cool. Look, man, I'll keep it a buck. This banner's Sugakaki, but I do want this unit. I don't think I'm going to summon for it, but I would like to get this unit at some point. And since I have so many Hinokas, I would be down to give this unit Air Superiority for the potent support. Because, like, she has 50 speed. She's going to have 1 billion speed on top of everything. I just completely glazed over what the duo button was. Oh my. Full cleanse, Omni +6, fringe bonus, and cancel affinity to you and anybody within 3. That's a lot. The full cleanse is so extra, but okay. Also, go to Mets, blue and orange. Alright, so overall thoughts. Like I said a minute ago, this banner, Sugakaki.
There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the walls.
Like, the power is good. It's just so unbelievably boring because Heimdall and Volley just came out and they reprinted them, so now they're blessable with basically the same exact kit, but 1 new skill that has like decent support. And to Heimdall's credit, the Drive Scowl is an upgrade, at least, but Heimdall's also the one that nobody wants a reprint of. It's just like Mythic Loki. Nobody wants that unit to be reprinted and blessable because they break the game in an unfun way. Loki shit you can at least play around. Heimdall just makes the game unfun. So now if you're an SD player, you have 2 Heimdall teams to worry about. Basically just auto-ban 2 teams that have Heimdall on it. Not my problem, but I do have some empathy for that. And then Volley is literally just the same unit with a cool new C skill that's genuinely powerful, but not enough for me to summon. The Demo is good, the weapon is good, and detect is good, and Duo Baldur seems really, really good, and if you replace the B skill with Air Superiority for her to quintuple, probably a disgusting creature. But I'm not gonna summon on this. Unless people summon on it and they're like, yeah, Baldur's actually the greatest unit of all time, then I'll do it because I do like the alt. I do. But I'm more likely to summon on the friggin' Santa Gatekeeper thing before this, because I at least like those characters and they do unique stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one for not summoning on this. ARD is coming up in the coming days. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. If you're gonna summon, if you think it's lazy as fuck, let me know. Have a good one. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye.